Okay, just a key couple of ways to look at what we're trying to drive down and what we're trying to look at when we're valuing a business. One of the key things is risk. So I'm going to explain the two differences of looking at risk, and this really probably triggered with me when I talked to a friend of mine who is actually a risk specialist, and risk specialists dealing with businesses, they're looking at trying to work on what's the controllables and non-controllables and trying to put systems in place that try and reduces the risks and reducing costs that is associated with risk events, and also that will then drive down insurance. What their multiple is the EBITDA, which is earnings before interest and tax, depreciation and amortisation. For most lay people, net profit with a couple of adjustments, divided by revenue, and this risk factor. So this is the variable that most people forget. They don't look at that. So when a risk specialist is going to look at value and improving value in a business client that they deal with, they look at this calculation. For us, in business valuations and in business advisory, we look on more of this, which is a normalised net profit. So we take out this fancy EBITDA, a normalised net profit, then we multiply that on an industry standard cap rate multiplied by the risk factor. Now that effectively is the cap rate, but cap rates are different. Most businesses you may hear of sell between 3 and 4 multiples of normalised profit, okay? But for us, we also look at risk. So we look at the risk factors involved, and they can potentially, if they are better than the industry standard, that'll improve your cap rate. Okay, so if you are new to talking about value, and I'll just sort of go back a step on that. If you're new to talking about value, valuations are done on that basis. They're basically done on a multiple of your normalised earnings. Okay. That if you improve in these 8 key drivers on a score or a metric out of 100, that you will improve the likelihood of an increase in your value along the way, and an increase in the value of your business when you're ready to sell. So company values score by a multiple is what we've discussed with you just a couple of slides ago. So as you'll note, that this multiple, I'm going to run these slides, is effectively out of 100. So if you do the score sheet, and you're welcome to do the score, if you go to our website, you can do the questionnaire and we can send out the score, and it'll be out of 100 effectively. So what they've found is that in most average businesses, the 3.76 is the average multiple capitalisation rate of the normalised profit. A score of less than 50 when you run through these eight key drivers drops your multiple down. 50 to 60 and so on, right through to scores 80 plus. You can see a significant increase in the multiple. So it's worthwhile putting in the effort to get this multiple up. Now, if you're talking a difference between, say we've got a normalised profit in the business of $500,000 and we multiply it by 3, well, we're 1.5 million. If we multiply it by 6, I mean, simple maths, we're going to double. So there's a big difference between your retirement savings or your retirement if you can double your eventual sale price. Yeah, it's called the Switzerland structure. So this deals with independence. So Switzerland signed a treaty back in the 1800s, which effectively they maintained this stance of neutrality. They didn't want to align themselves with any particular country in the event of war or whatever else, or owe them a favour. So they didn't bind themselves to any nation whatsoever. So the driver in this is Switzerland, the Switzerland structure. So multiples on this is one of the key drivers on this is how well do you know your customers, or how reliant are you on a small number of customers. So in answering the questions, if you know each of your customers by first name, 2.92, right through to, I know most of my customers by first name, and they usually want to deal with me rather than someone else. I know some of my customers by first name, or I don't know my customers personally and rarely get involved in serving an individual customer. So again, the less reliance on you as a business owner improves your score. How to improve that? Reduce the dependency on these key factors: key customers, key employees, or key suppliers. So if you've got one supplier, there's risk. As a business purchaser that's looking to buy into your business, if you only got one supplier of your product, there's a risk. It's going to reduce your multiple. You've got one employee, same, and one customer, same.